It's time for your weekly Project Marvel update here on Locked On Spurs. This time, we're going to get the viewpoint from local businesses.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs, right here, the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Kens 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you all back. Hope you're having a great day. And as always, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Kens 5 Plus app, YouTube. You know what to do. What's that? Subscribe ASAP. Thanks for being the everydayers that you are. And perfect timing, too. Training camp has begun. Yeah, it's exciting time. The season is right around the corner. Still got to go through preseason, more training camp days, but nevertheless, it will be here. Regular season is just upon us, so hang on tight. But we're going to take a break from the X's and O's on the court, talk about things off the court. As y'all know, every week we give you a Project Marvel update, whether it's from Cops Metro and why they feel it's a bad deal to those who feel it's a good deal, from ex-mayor Ron Nirenberg to Spurs political consultants. Yeah, we make sure all bases are covered here, and we're going to continue doing that here on Locked On Spurs by getting the business view of it. Yeah, we hear a lot about how it's going to help positively and impact positively the local businesses, whether it's downtown or just city of San Antonio as a whole. But in what way could Project Marvel do that? How can it help local businesses grow and thrive with a freaking entertainment district? I mean, that's going to be awesome. So I couldn't think of a better person to represent local San Antonio business than one of the best around the city. She is well known. She is well liked. A good friend of mine. Let's go ahead and bring her on. She is April Ancira with Ancira Motor. April, first of all, thank you so much for jumping on Locked On Spurs. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. I'm really excited about being here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. And by the way, I also feel it's well overdue as well.
Right.
Well
I know.
overdue.
We've been going back and forth on Twitter/X for, I can't tell you how long.
Well, you go back you and I go back to my former stomping ground or at the other station here in San Antonio.
The other station.
Yeah, the
Yes.
other station. Yeah. Before I jumped to Ken's 5. So that's how far back April and I go. So, but I mean, since then, I got to know April very well. Just great person all around. But as I mentioned, when it comes to local businesses, you can't get a bigger name than the Ancira name. And that's why she's here. So, April, before we dive in, season's about to start. Are you excited?
I'm really pumped. We actually changed our seats for this year. We've got a couple of club seats and we have 2 somewhere else. So I'm really excited about the experience this year and getting in there and, seeing all of our new players. And I've already picked out all the games that I'm for sure going to. And then the rest, we share with the rest of our team at Team Ancira to make sure everybody has some fun.
Hey, you didn't try out for the Wemby's fanatical fan section? I thought for sure you'd be up there.
No, if anything, I'm edging up on silver sneaker status. So that's probably what the next thing I try out for is silver sneakers.
You know what's bad? I'm at the point now where when I go like to Ross and I ask a cashier, what age is senior citizen? And then they say 55 or up. I go, okay, I'm still good. I'm not there yet.
This summer, I got a whole bunch of grays coming in right up here. And I was like, I wonder what you have to do to qualify for silver sneakers. This must be enough, right? This must be it. So I just want to I was a junior silver dancer, never got to be a silver dancer. I figure I just skip right up silver sneakers. Here we come.
Look at you. Yeah. Get promoted to the top of the line.
Yeah, let's go.
The silver sneakers. I didn't even know they were still around, silver sneakers.
You know what? I don't know if they're still around, but you can tell that I have a high interest in it. And I've been trying to get UTSA to do something like some alumni, something or other where I can dance at halftime. Any reason to dance.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, April, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's have a chat about this. So
sure.
Just for everybody else that are tuning in, April's well-versed on this, as am I. But if you're still don't understand what Project Marvel is, I'm going to give you just a quick and dirty. I'll probably release some stuff out, but basically this is it. It's an entire plan to pretty much revitalize the downtown area of San Antonio. For those who are familiar with San Antonio or just watched on TV, you're seeing that tower that's always showing during the Spurs game in downtown? That's the area, all right? So that whole area complex is going to be revitalized. and it includes a Spurs arena. So make it very clear. It's not just about a Spurs arena. It's a piece of an entire district, which also includes revitalizing where the Spurs currently play right now. Frost Bank Center, that's on the east side. Pretty much, again, for those that don't live in San Antonio, there's actually another kind of arena-ish next to the Frost Bank Center. It's called Freeman Coliseum. Basically, they want to revitalize that area. So it's an entire plan. And I think, April, let's go to dive into it. That's where some people get tripped up. A lot of people think it's just a Spurs arena, and it's not, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. And I feel like we've almost been a little bit behind on this project. As the longer we wait to juice that, the more expensive these types of projects become. And we're getting left behind by other cities.
Yeah.
They're capturing tourists and conventions that we could be doing right now, especially with the culture in San Antonio.
Sure.
And so this is definitely more than just the arena. It would be everything in between the arena, an amphitheater, convention center, hotels. This is a really big deal. But you have to look at the arena as just the anchor, right? And then you have all of these arms that come right off of it that it helps feed, really. And I think that's what people are missing, is exactly what you're saying.
Exactly. And if we want to get a little bit more just micro about this as well, some of the numbers that y'all probably hear about is, zero new tax dollars to residents. It'll be funded via tourism dollars. So basically hotel taxes, car rental taxes, that kind of money used to fund this thing. Right. And again, another area that people get tripped up on is this, like, it's going to impact the San Antonio general fund. It's going to take away from, fixing up streets and, helping the community. And
that money would never go there.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You want to explain to everybody about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this fund, it goes to things like this in the development of San Antonio. They could not be reallocated to a pothole. And I know that's put in its simplest forms. However, imagine this district gets built. Now you've got additional sales tax, not just from the Spurs because you're just repurposing their location, but now you have all these extra restaurants that are being populated. You have you have the convention center is expanded. So now we have to hold additional conventions in there simultaneously, which we couldn't do before. Now you have more heads in beds and hotels. And so guess what? 1% of the sales tax from the can of soda you buy, that extra sales tax, that does go to the fund. And guess what? That can pay for a pothole. So essentially, if these monies are used for this economic generation, which will then generate sales tax, now we can fix your pothole, right? And that's the best way I can put that in a simple form. The other thing, though, which people don't understand is this is a city leased building, right? In city leased areas. Now that lease money, guess what, is coming back. So all that money, if a restaurant goes in there or some sort of salon, I don't know what's going to populate this area, clothing store, high-end clothing store. These people are paying a lease, right? Now that money is coming back to the city. That goes back into repayment as well. So there's all of these additional generators for money to come back, which is taking care of that bond or that investment or whatever it is in Project Marble. And it's almost a win. It's a win-win. I frankly don't see the downside to this. I actually wish that it probably hadn't gone to where it did. The problem where Frost Bank is now is that the way our city council is structured, the way even our county is structured, is you have some overturn of people. A project like where we put it, and then to promise to revitalize an area requires people to stay in their positions for a long time. That way they get to follow up. They get to ensure that it's there. That doesn't happen often enough. Oftentimes you have new people, and then a plan gets left behind. But when you put something in the heart of San Antonio, in downtown, that feeds itself, the amount of attention that you have to put to it, it's easier to focus on. It's right there. It's like the Riverwalk. You can't ignore it. And so, as you can see, I'm really excited about this plan. But don't worry, the Freeman Coliseum, Frost Bank is not going to get left behind. As a matter of fact, the auto dealers are even looking to move our auto show to the Freeman Coliseum every single year from here on out. So I know other folks like me are looking to do the same and make that same investment, like our auto show group. So those guys are going to be able to, that area will be able to come along as well. But there's so much opportunity between sales tax and the leases that will be able to recoup dollars from, that this is almost a no-brainer idea. And then those monies generated, then those do go in the funds where we can improve San Antonio.
The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets used across the app. You'll love FanDuel because it just fits everything you need. You can build a same-game parlay, do player props, jump into live action as the action unfolds. Make every moment more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. Quick, easy, the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. Cowboys have started their season. Texans are starting their season, so might as well jump on FanDuel right now. You ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you been surprised? We'll get into the local business aspect in just a few minutes, but have you been surprised about the amount of pushback there's been? And again, not just from the mayor who initially wanted a strategic pause, but there are other residents too that are pushing back. I live in the downtown area and very close to the King Williams district, and I see the no Project Marvel signs. Are you surprised by this?
Yeah, yes, and at first I was surprised. And then I ended up gathering that there was a whole lot of misinformation. Like what you said, why this should be used to fix the streets. Well, it can't be used to fix the streets. So it's never set up that way. So this is where it would need to go. So people are thinking in that. They think their property taxes are going to go up. Or if something happens to the bond negatively, then the taxpayers will be on the hook. But the fact that it's an automatic repayment through the leases, I don't see how that would happen. I really don't, especially with the strength of downtown San Antonio and what the convention center remodel will do, what the Alamo Dome remodel will do, what an amphitheater will redo.
Right.
Or what is that? They're going to have a little land
bridge. Yeah, the land bridge. Yeah. You can see it on your screen right now, everybody. Yeah.
I've heard the name Popovich Way for the
look at that.
Right? I mean, I know a lot of people are going to like that. So absolutely no. Do I even see taxpayers ever footing this bill via property tax, any sort of their own tax? This is all visitors tax that we're all used to. And we see every city you ever go to New York City, go to Dallas, go wherever, stay at the hotel. You'll see these types of things are on everybody. So it will not affect the person who lives here, has roots here. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and so I see it from that standpoint. And I've already lost my place, Jeff, because we were talking.
Okay, yeah. You get all, yeah, I see you getting fired up for this topic.
I do get fired up. And misinformation, right? That's what we were talking about. And I believe that there's been misinformation. And then people who don't want this to happen for whatever reason, they continue with that misinformation. There's also the narrative that this is only helping the 1%ers, right? And so people assume if it's only helping the 1%ers, then it must have a negative effect for me.
Right.
But it's not only helping the 1%ers. And frankly, I wouldn't support this if it only helped that demographic. My business, let's not even think of this altruistically. Oh, it'll be better for San Antonio. Let's look at this selfishly, since everybody wants to look at it from that lens, right? So let's be selfish. I only do well in Ancira Auto Group if everybody in San Antonio does well. I sell pre-owned vehicles that are $6,000, $7,000, $10,000. I don't own luxury vehicle brands. I don't have Lexus. I don't have Mercedes. I need the everyday working person who is out there working hard for their family to better their position in life to be able to afford these types of vehicles, in order for my folks who are working for us to be able to afford the same thing for themselves. And without that strong working class that we have in San Antonio, I'm not going to do as well as I could possibly do. So even to look at it from a selfish standpoint, right, which I'm not trying to look at, but it seems to be the best way for everybody else to understand. I have to believe this will benefit those folks as well. I have to believe that there'll be more jobs for them downtown by the Riverwalk. I don't know if it's janitorial. Maybe it'll be even more high-paying jobs, more opportunities to be promoted to manager of a clothing store, more opportunities to open their mom and pop family shops and have their own business. I really believe that these things are possible, and the folks that make up all of San Antonio will absolutely benefit, and I need them to benefit. I need them to do well. And so does the rest of Team Ancira. So even coming from a purely selfish standpoint, it's got to be a win for everybody, and I absolutely believe it is.
We're talking with April Ancira with the Ancira Auto Group, and the only person in San Antonio to ever dunk on Wembanyama. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he's the only one who ever did that. I don't know how you did it, but you did it, April. So just wait with it.
Yeah. So that video's secret. Nobody's ever seen it yet. Nobody's ever seen it, but it's there.
It's there. Yeah, it's there. I haven't even seen it either. It's just that's what the streets are saying.
I haven't seen it either, but I know it's there.
We're talking about Project Marvel, giving you the weekly update, and today's update, we're just getting the local business aspect of it. We've seen a lot of the kind of the macro view of it. Now we're getting a little bit into the weeds now and the business side of things as well. And don't forget, check out and go, if you live in San Antonio, especially go to visit one of the Ancira Auto Group lots. April's going to brag about that in just a few minutes here on Locked On Spurs. You kind of started hinting towards it, talking about how Project Marvel could potentially impact you and your business, saying like, you need that. But give us kind of an overall view of the business side. Obviously, you're well connected. You rub shoulders with some of the other businesses here in San Antonio. What is the vibe among y'all?
The vibe that I get mostly among businesses, not all of them. There are a few that don't, but I think that they're a little jaded about the last location the arena went. And to be honest, that's why. But most of us are in favor of Project Marvel because we just want to see the success of San Antonio. We want to see our downtown do well. We don't want to get left behind. But we have so much to offer, such unique culture for people to come down and check out and visit San Antonio and get to experience what we are and our vibe. And shoot, if the Spurs are the anchor of that, so be it. I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we've also got the perfect place for people to visit, as seen by the Alamo Bowl. Always a sold out event. Multiple Final Fours, men and women. Multiple Final Fours. Large swimming events that have brought Caleb Drexel and Michael Phelps swam up here at the north side pool. So this is us. This is who we are. We're a shining sports town with a lot of cultural vibe to hand out.
Yeah. I want to go back to what your point you said earlier when you're talking about, hey, you visit New York City, or I used to live in New York City for close to 20 years, and let me tell you, what a highlight for me is the Brooklyn arena, the Barclays Center. That was an entertainment sports district. I still can see it in my mind's eye right now, just how incredible it was. And you're right, that Barclays Center was the anchor. It was to the point where I had a friend of mine who went to the NBA draft based there in San Antonio. He even texted me. He's like, where do I go? Like, it was like so brand new to him. Like, how do I navigate? Like, where are the good spots to go to around the arena?
Yeah.
I don't get those type of messages in San Antonio, April.
No, you don't. And frankly, I feel like everybody in San Antonio needs to take field trips because my buddy Jason Minix, who does the ESPN radio show here in town, he went to a concert this weekend, and I can't tell you what city it was, but he specifically said in the video, he was like, this is what I imagine Project Marvel to be. And it was a connected area with endless restaurants and shopping and stores and music and benches outside with, green spaces for people to gather in. And I was like, that's it. And granted, I went to Dallas, and that's anchored by two sporting areas, but I went into a little restaurant area called, I wouldn't call it little, actually, it's called Texas Live. And it's
Mhm.
massive. They have all the sports sitting up there on these giant TVs where people are gathering for the games when their team is out of town to watch together there. Different restaurants in this venue, shopping downstairs.
Right.
I mean, I was blown away, and I wanted to
Mhm.
grab it and just transplant it right in between the Alamo Dome and the new
Right.
Frostbank Center. I was like, this would be gangbusters. So,
Oh, it
uh,
will be.
yeah, so I feel like people need to take field trips or go online and
Mhm.
look up entertainment districts, and then they'll understand once they can see the concept of
Mhm.
what it looks like and what it would bring. I think they'd better understand for sure.
Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance and endless ways to improve and move, whether you're running, lifting, cross-training with your favorite instructors. This is training reimagined. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with tools that help you plan, stay motivated, reach peak performance. You'll love how Peloton IQ system offers real-time strength coaching, tracks your reps, suggests the right weights, corrects your form, making every rep safer and smarter. Swivel Screen is a game changer. You can go from running on the Tread Plus to strength training without missing a beat. Personalized class recommendations keep you engaged. You get workouts ready to your vibe and energy level each week. So let yourself run, lift, flex, and push forward. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus today at onepeloton.com.
And to be fair, April, we will look at some of what those that are against Project Marvel have to say. I had somebody come on recently last week from Cops Metro. They
Yeah.
give their viewpoint of why this is a bad deal. And the first, I'm paraphrasing here, and I know he's probably watching right now, so excuse me if I don't paraphrase it the right way. But basically, in a nutshell, it was this deal is almost too good to be true. You never get something free in life. And what he's referring to is the zero new taxes on local residents. And kind of looking at the number structure, he was kind of showing slides of the term sheet and the
Yeah, but
economic
it's not.
impact stuff.
It's
Go ahead.
not
Yeah.
free. He's right. It's not free. No one said it was free. I mean, there is no taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Property taxes will not go up as a result of it, or any other tax that I guess a local person would have to
Mm-hmm.
encounter. Sales taxes won't even go up.
Yeah.
The city gets 1%. That 1% stays the same. What we
Mm-hmm.
hope is that more people come down here because of everything we built, and so there's more sales tax generated, but
Mm-hmm.
not an increase in the sales tax itself, right?
Right.
And I think we're maxed out anyways on how high we can go on sales tax in Texas anyways. So
Sure.
I don't think there's room to increase it anyways.
Yeah.
But it's not. The visitors are paying for it. That's who's
Mm-hmm.
paying for it. That is not free. Visitors are paying for it.
Yep.
And then the Spurs, in a sense, as well as other tenants, are also repaying for it
Right.
because they'll be making those lease payments,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they'll be making those lease payments, which the city will be able to capture, and and it'll go back into paying off this
Right.
this debt. So I mean, it is
Yeah.
not free, but it's not our local taxpayers who are paying
Mm-hmm.
it, unless they have a staycation downtown,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you decide you're not sleeping in your own home and
Yeah.
you want to stay downtown. It's going to be in the tax of that hotel room.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's how I see it. So it's not free, but
Yeah.
they're misguided on who's paying for it.
Yeah, exactly. And then you hear, the Spurs making an obligation / commitment to paying the overruns on the construction of that. The cities and their / residents are not going to do that as well. April, one big question I wanted to ask you is this: as a businesswoman yourself, when you first saw the term sheet / economic plan, all that good stuff, from the business lens, were you kind of blown away? Were you a little shocked at this, at what the Spurs were committing to do for the
Actually,
city?
I thought it was really, really, really good deal.
Okay.
To me, it was a really good deal. I love having the Spurs here. San Antonio benefits from the Spurs. San Antonio loves the Spurs. There's a good vibe around it. And I think they're showing their appreciation because I think if another city were to raise their hand, say, Las Vegas comes to mind
Right.
easily, right? That Vegas would put more up on the plate for them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I really think that, but I think the Spurs like being part of San Antonio. You saw that by all the veterans or alumni. I don't know what you want to call them, veterans or alumni of the Spurs that came and spoke at City Hall, right?
I remember
About
that, yeah.
how they could have made anywhere their home, and they've all decided to make this their home. You see Bruce Bowen all the time. You see Sean Elliott,
Sean
and
Elliott,
Tim
yeah.
Duncan. So, I think other cities would offer them more to move.
Yeah.
So it is pretty impressive what we've got here.
And here's the other thing too. Again, some of those that are on the opposite end of Project Marvel, against it, one of the arguments is ticket affordability. Okay, fine, Spurs, this arena goes up, it's downtown, yay! But how can residents go in and pay for the game if they're anticipating higher ticket costs? Now, the Spurs have committed, at least in a term sheet, that X amount of seats will be a fairly reasonable cost. I don't have the number here. I think it's about $25-ish if the new arena does get made. But some interesting, but since that interview I had last week on our Project Marvel update, I got some updated stats / information that I wanted to share with you and everybody else here. Over the last 4 years, the Spurs have averaged about 1,500 tickets per game, priced at $25 or less. Then on top of that, 400 to 500 tickets per game are averaging $12 or less. And in the NBA, the Spurs rank in the top 1% of teams for affordable ticket availability. That's wild, right? Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. That's absolutely wild. I did not know that stat, and actually I love it. I absolutely love that stat. So
and doesn't that kind of lend to the argument for those that are on the pro Project Marvel side that kind of, if you build it, they will come? I mean, think about it. You're in the brand new arena downtown, portable tickets. Yeah, a good chunk of those fans that maybe, okay, fine, maybe they cannot afford a courtside seat or a suite, but the experience will still be readily available. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, and the great thing about a basketball arena is because it's so much smaller that the value of that ticket, I feel like, as opposed to even a football arena, it's more intimate. You're closer to the player.
Right.
You can see everything that's going on. So it's really cool to know, man, that I'm really excited that you just told me that, because to know that San Antonio can experience, something that they're a part of, and by a part of, I mean just voting for, right? Sure. I'm not talking the investment. We've gone over this. This is not a sales tax or a property tax. This is visitor tax, right? And then we're talking about recouping some money from the leases that the city will also get. Right. And so they'll be able to say, I'm a part of this because I voted for it, which is really cool. And they can go experience what they voted for because of the affordability of it. I think that's pretty neat.
You mentioned that there are some businesses in San Antonio that are leaning towards, this ain't good. This is not a good thing. If you
they're worried, I would say that they're no way. They're worried, right?
Okay, what is their worry, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's based off of it going to the east side. Primarily, right. The follow-up wasn't there on making sure all of everything that was promised was met. I think it's just apprehension over what was promised the last time will not be delivered again this time,
And it is kind of funny, not funny, but it would work. It would actually behoove the Frost Center / Freeman, the rodeo organization,
Yeah.
the people there, to see this team leave to go downtown, because then they could be whole for them. They could turn it into something they want, and that could obviously be the East Side's anchor.
Well, it could, but
Yeah.
I tell you what, it is going to take some people doing some major focusing on the East Side, really
Okay.
developing the area around it to be what the intended use had been primarily. I think they were hoping for some stores around it,
Yeah.
for some restaurants around it,
Right.
to be able to be over there, make it a nice area to walk around and be in. There are some plans, I believe, to change the Freeman Coliseum to a year-round rodeo
Yeah. I've heard the same.
establishment, which is pretty
Mhm.
cool. Frost Bank will remain, hosting concerts and other
Yeah.
tenants of that nature. But I hopefully, whether the Spurs move or not, somebody needs to be dialed in on that area. And really, that's, I believe, the county's focus right now is, our county commissioners and Judge Sakai is to hone in on that area and develop it like everybody had hoped for. And that's Spurs there or not there. And no one can say the Spurs are here, it'll ruin it if they leave. Well, nobody did anything while they were there.
Exactly.
Which is kind of what you're saying. So maybe now there'll be a new initiative around there. And I honestly hope for that regardless what happens.
Yeah, I'm leaving the photo up here. This is a mock-up of what this proposed entertainment district could look like. As y'all can see, there is the land bridge that connects what would possibly could be a new look facelift to the Alamo Dome. You see the Spurs arena or proposed downtown arena down there. My goodness. That just looks insane.
I know. So the last thing I believe that would be done is a facelift and remodel of the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
I think that's last on the list, if I'm correct. And at first on the list is the Frost Bank Center, as it's currently named, and then everything else is in between, right? Convention center, hotels.
And if you look carefully, everybody, you could actually probably see April cheering up and down for UTSA on that land bridge.
That's me.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's her right there.
Right. In the bright orange.
Yeah, and the bright orange. Before I go to let you go, and again, thank you again for your time here, April. But what would be your message to those that are on the fence about this proposed project? Those that are, or maybe leaning towards, hell no, we don't want this to happen. What would your message be to them?
Okay, I kind of have two of them. The first one has to do a little bit with UTSA football, and that's a little bit of a different setup, but you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And I'm going to quote Red McCombs. Oh my gosh, the competitor, right? Because he said something great. He said that UTSA football is the front porch, the welcoming center to UTSA, right? And you could almost say the Spurs could be somewhat the same in the same arena. But once you have UTSA and you're welcoming people into the football arena, giving them a reason to all congregate, 45 to 50,000 people, you've re-engaged them in UTSA. And I've always said, when UTSA does well and that football team does well, all of a sudden people start focusing on more of UTSA. You're like, welcome in, please come in. All of a sudden other sports are doing well. Then we have our cybersecurity is doing well, engineering's doing well, business school's doing well. When they're doing well, headquarters are like, wow, look at over there, that great talent base that San Antonio has in UTSA and their football team and the entertainment, maybe would put roots down there. But at the same time, they look at San Antonio, okay, do they have any professional teams? Do they have any green spaces? How about their symphony at the Tobin? What's that like? And those things are important. But you put that down, and then all of these new headquarters, they end up giving back to UTSA, but this is all because of football. That's in a nutshell. So I look at the Spurs and Project Marvel the same way, right? We've got to bring people in. We've got to put an appetite for San Antonio out there, because we're like, hey, check this out. We have this entertainment district, but then these people stay, they spend money, they have so much fun. They decide we can have the Final Four here. They decide that maybe this is a great place to have a Taylor Swift concert. We were too small or didn't have the right venue before, so we got passed up for Dallas and Houston. And that lady changed GDP. I mean, she was like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, she did.
caused a small earthquake in
Yeah.
Seattle. And so I'm not saying this necessarily towards Taylor Swift. I'm just talking about opportunities that we would miss. And this gives us more opportunities, and they all end up, this is the second part of the equation, as when people don't see this giant circle, like I have with UTSA football, like I have with Ancira, I have a giant circle for Project Marvel, because now we're generating more sales tax just out of more people being here. So now we have better roads, more potholes fixed, all the things that people wanted to be done. But we also end up having more jobs for everybody. We have more people who are working, like I said before, they're able to be promoted as a store manager maybe in this area. Maybe it's their first job and they signed up to be a janitor. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what the opportunities are? Concessions, your own mom and pop restaurant. The sky is the limit. And when those folks do well, the rest of the businesses do well, because now they have income to spend with everybody else in San Antonio. So it's a big circle, really, that it's an opportunity to invite people in to see San Antonio, but then to help the base of San Antonio, which ends up helping everybody. And none of it is because we've raised taxes on individuals or property.
Absolutely. She is April Ancira with the Ancira Auto Group. April, we've been mentioning the Ancira Auto Group the whole show. Time for you to brag about it. What's going on over there? Why should people San Antonio go visit you in the lots, all that good stuff?
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Well, my dad started in 1972 downtown on Martin and Flores, and he was the first Hispanic owner of a Chevrolet dealership in the United States. Yay. He says he would never be where he is without the people of San Antonio and his competitors. So the first people to help my dad, this is where I get a lot of my mindset from, just like Pop Gunn, Jimmy Cavender. They were all like, Ernesto, how can we help you be successful? Because they really felt if we were all successful together, it would actually help San Antonio as a whole, right? And so to this day, I'm friends with the majority of the dealers in the city, and I love it. I'd like to think that we have high integrity, honest, low prices, but that sounds like a car dealer pitch. But it's true. I like to, even if it's an issue someone's having at another dealer, I actually return to that owner, to that whoever operates that dealership, and I'm like, I've brought you this customer, they're having an issue, and I let them solve it. I don't talk bad about that dealer. I don't say you should come here, that dealer did something awful to you, because I want all dealers to have a good look. I feel like we sink or swim together, because no one ever wants to buy a car because they're afraid of how it's going to go. And I feel that I help mitigate some of that or solve some of it by letting each dealer know if there's an issue with someone for them and then being able to fix it. But really, I'm an open book. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram, hardly on TikTok, on X. I'm the older demographic. So, but we have 14 stores at Ancira.com. So that's it.
And you / Ancira are very heavily involved supporting UTSA. I mean, seriously, I think you guys are just heads above the rest when it comes to supporting the Roadrunners.
Yeah, well, I told you, like, my little circle of how I think it actually benefits absolutely everyone. I think when UTSA does well and in a form or fashion, that it really does benefit San Antonio as a whole. And all those people who are going to come rushing to live in San Antonio, they're all going to need cars. So
there you go. There you go. Hey, what a better spot to go to than Ancira Auto Group. Yeah, April, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I appreciate it. Yes, this was long overdue. Again, everybody, I've known April for years, Thanks, but I'm glad she's here. I'm glad she took time out of her schedule to help educate everybody on Project Marvel, as well as give the business side view, the lens of what's happening. Again, make sure to follow April on X. We'll say X. How about that? Just
it's X now.
Search. Yeah. Just get in there, search April Ancira, give her a follow. It's just a great follow, especially when it comes to UTSA football. Oh my God, yeah. She's all about it, everybody. I warned y'all. Just a heads up on that. And again, thank you, April. Appreciate it. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever we get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Spotify Plus app, YouTube. You know what to do. Go subscribe ASAP. We'll be back tomorrow with training camp well underway. So, looking forward to that. So for April Ancira, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock in this episode of Locked On Spurs.